want to keep you updated on some local headlines we're following here in our newsroom here at Fox 5. Just a horrible situation unfolded earlier this morning in Gwinnett County. We've learned that 4 people have died, and our Angelique Proctor joins us live to explain how this happened. Angelique, I understand that this shooting this morning happened in the vicinity of children, and one of them ended up calling for help. Is that true?
That is true. One of them courageous enough to pick up the phone and call police for help. We now know that child was just 12 years old. This is really just an unspeakable tragedy. Just this neighborhood really still in shock. Lots of people have been driving by to take a look at the scene of what happened here. But police have just given us some new information within the last hour. They now have released the name of the suspect in this case, as well as the victims. He is 51-year-old Vijay Kumar, and what we've learned is that he was actually from Atlanta, that Kumar drove here to Gwinnett County, according to what police are telling us, with his wife. Her name was Mimu Dogra. They got into an argument in Atlanta, according to police, then drove here to Gwinnett County with their 12-year-old child in that car. Now, police say once they got here, Kumar shot and killed not only his wife, but 3 other relatives. Now, police say just about 2 weeks ago, a mail caller from this same house was in a dispute with his brother-in-law at that time. That was actually January the 10th. They called officers for help. Police say they responded, and the brother-in-law agreed to leave the scene. Well, this morning around 2:30 a.m., that is when this child called police and notified them of this shooting. We have been told that there were 3 children inside, one now 7 years old, another 10 years old, and then that 12-year-old who is the suspect's child, that they all hid in a closet, if you could imagine this, as this very violent shooting was happening. Just an unimaginable position for anyone, especially children. Now, Gwinnett police tell us that they arrived so quickly that suspect Kumar was still in the vicinity. We also talked with a woman who lives in this neighborhood and says she has dogs, and her dogs immediately realized something was wrong.
Her dogs barking. I think the dogs started barking, and that's what got my dogs all riled up, because Teddy and Simon hear sirens, but they don't bark at it. But they went ballistic, and it was scary I didn't understand what was going on, so I was totally shocked to see it was something really tragic so close.
Based on the information given by the child that called in, and what officers saw when they arrived, they still saw the suspect's vehicle in the driveway. So because they got here so quickly, they figured he was still close by. So K-9 officers were dispatched and arrived on scene, and they located him in the wood line. It's definitely a tragic situation. 4 people dying at the same time, especially with children in the home, is very, very tragic. It's shocking to anybody.
And we are now getting information about Kumar's charges. He will face 4 counts of malice murder, 4 counts of felony murder, as well as 4 counts of aggravated assault. He also faces 3 counts of cruelty to children. And there is definitely a lot of concern for those children. A lot of people wondering, certainly their lives will never be the same. What happens to them now? We are told, according to police, that they are now with family members.
Angelique, this is an absolutely heartbreaking story. I can only imagine how those children must feel, and the courage it took for that 12-year-old to call 911 knowing there was something wrong with their own parents. So, Angelique, as we look through this situation, I know the big question I think a lot of people are wondering is just how could a person do this? What was the motive, or what led up to this? I know police haven't necessarily released that information, but any other big questions outstanding for you as you cover this tragic story?
Well, as you said, the question of why is the one that's nagging at so many people, and police did say in their press release that they are not familiar with why. But I did talk to a neighbor today who says that she noticed a female that lives in the house behind me, and she used to see her sort of walking and pacing and crying and on the phone. And she says now that she looks back, it was obvious to her that there was something wrong. And so with them also coming here earlier in the month on January the 10th, that is an indication that there was clearly some kind of dispute, some kind of feud that was brewing. And certainly it seems, according to police, with this being a domestic shooting, has come to a head here in such a very tragic way.
Yeah, Angelique, thank you so much for keeping us updated and letting me know where we stand with this story. Appreciate your time and your reporting today, and we'll check back in with you.
This is the book of Amos, chapter 3, verse 6 in the AMP. If a trumpet is blown in a city, warning of danger, will not the people tremble? If a disaster or misfortune occurs in a city, has not the Lord caused it? Kol Holayim La, Al Banawa Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai Bahashem Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the elder apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone who rule well. Salutations to the Akim out there on the highways and the byways. Salutations to the hopeful elect. Salutations to you speckled birds, you Israelite foreigners. And shalom to the Akwaf, sitting and listening in silence as the scriptures say to do so. Amos chapter 3, verse 6 in the AMP. If a trumpet is blown in a city, warning of danger, will not the people tremble? If a disaster or misfortune occurs in a city, has not Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, caused it? And yes, and that trumpet that's being blown, that's the prophets, which the Lord is speaking through the prophets, warning, okay, not only Israel, but the world of the judgments that he's going to bring forth, man. And believe it or not, this was ordained, orchestrated, commanded, and brought forth by and from Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, man. Okay? And as I always state and say, and as the other elder apostles, elder bishops, elders on down always state too, that, you know, people are, it's for Israelites especially, you're either back here to be judged or you're either here for salvation, man. Okay? Because again, that trumpet being blown is the prophet speaking, warning you, the foretelling of the prophecies that's going to be brought forth and the conditions that's going to occur upon the earth, man. Okay, so these things are literally a manifestation of the Lord's anger and his wrath being appeased on those that are, again, playing out their judgment upon the earth, man. And it's going to be, okay, more, okay, evils that are going to multiply, increase upon the earth, man. As a matter of fact, I know I read this the last, video, but hey, I'm gonna read it again, man, because this is what you see occurring, man. Okay, you literally see the love of many waxing cold, man, and people, you know, not having no compassion, no consideration of one another, and just all out, you know, judgment, man. Okay, so let's grab this. This is the book of St. Matthew, chapter 24, verse 12, and I'm gonna read this in the AMP also. Because lawlessness is increased, the love of most people will grow cold, man. Okay, because as you saw the news footage and heard the news footage, and as you continue to see it right now, okay, this God, which I don't know what race he is or what, you know, because they obviously they didn't show a picture of the suspects. I saw it's like the victims or the suspects. Okay, but this person didn't have any love for none of these people that he put down, man. 4 people, and we know that number 4 represents mercy, man. Okay, it literally represents mercy, man. And a lot of people are not going to receive mercy in these days to come, man. As you see, the only ones that got spared in this judgment was the children, man. The children were the only ones that got spared in this judgment. Okay, and speaking as a man, I believe this was an Edomite because we know, and I've done videos and y'all seen them. We know that if this was Jake's face would be on this news clip. Now, I'm saying I speak as a man. If somebody has information to show forth that if it was, or if it isn't a Jake, hey man, leave the link on the comment board, man. But as we know, again, when Esau does something, they don't put his face on the news feeds. Okay, but I could be wrong. Okay. So again, St. Matthew 24 verse 12 in the AMP, because lawlessness is increased, okay? Because everybody's, at a breaking point. Everybody's literally stressed out. Okay, they don't have a resolution. Like we have a resolution, which is Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, and it's truth because we have the answers. We know what's going to be brought forth. We know the end game. We know what's going to be done. So we have comfort. Okay, as it says in the book of Maccabees, we have the holy book of scriptures to comfort us, man. Okay? So we know what it is, man. And we know that the Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai is bringing forth the wrath, the hellish conditions, the judgments, the evil, the wicked, the righteousness. The Lord brings forth all that. And, let's prove that. Okay? Because it's going to get worse, man. Okay, the trumpet is being blown. The Lord is blowing the trumpet by having his prophets speak, by having his prophets on the highways and the byways, and also uploading edification. The Lord is blowing the trumpet, man. Okay, through his prophets. So this is Isaiah chapter 45, and I'm going to start off at verse 5. I am Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, and there is none else. There is no God besides me. I girded thee, though thou hast not known me. Okay, because the world and even 2/3 of our people and even Jakes that claim they in the truth don't know Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. Okay, because the Lord's been sitting back and letting all this unrighteous decrees, wickedness, okay, the wrath of the wicked, ruthlessness occur and flourish upon the earth, man. The Lord just been sitting back. Okay, verse 6. That they may know from the rising of the sun and from the west that there is none besides me. I am the Lord, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, and there is none else. And the Lord is, he's hey man, he's going to do a marvelous work, man, to magnify his name, man, to magnify his name and his son's name, man. Okay, everybody's going to fear, tremble, bow the knee, come correct, and worship and acknowledge Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Verse 7, the main point. I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things. So the Lord brought forth this judgment. And as we know in the book of Sirach 39, you have spirits that were created for vengeance to appease the wrath of him that made them. And who made them? Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. So it's to appease his wrath. Okay, because the Lord gets justification out of everything that he's done, everything that he's done and that he's going to do. Now, I never looked up. Let me see real quick. Appease. Appease. It says pacify by ascending to their demands. Okay, here's the definition that we want. Relieve or satisfy. Okay, so it satisfies the Lord to bring forth these judgments, man. Okay, relieve or satisfy a demand or a feeling. Man, that's the Google definition. So I wonder I'm curious now. I wonder what the etymology online says about appease. Let me see real quick, Salakia, because I never looked up this word. I knew what it meant, but just for edification. Woo! Okay, appease in the etymology online, which is a verb. It says reconcile, to pacify, make peace, appease, be reconciled. Let me see here. I guess reconcile would be the main definition for this. Let me reconcile. Let me see. Let's see here real quick. Ah, yeah, reconcile. to come to an agreement on or an answer or solution. Settle, resolve, and that's what the Lord is doing. He's settling it. Your judgments are being settled and resolved that he foreordained to you when you were in the spiritual realm, when you came before that throne. Okay, but Salakia, man, I just had to look that up real quick. But you know what? This ain't going to be a long one. Let's just straight to the point. So let's close out here. You know, I don't want Ratazai is edifying, man. The Lord getting busy, man. But just imagine what he's going to do when he takes the prophets off the streets, man. Just imagine what's going to be done. Okay, when Yahweh Shem Yahushua, brings forth all his righteous indignation, man. So this is the book of 2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 1 in the AMP. But understand this, that in the last days, dangerous times of great stress and trouble will come. Difficult days that will be hard to bear. Hey, man, and we at that boiling point, man. We at that boiling point of insurrection, sedition. Okay, a man is going to take vengeance and justice into his own hands. It's going to be a lot of judgment, man. It's going to be a lot of lawlessness out here, man. Okay, because again, the love of many is been waxing cold. It's getting worse and worse. And there's no such thing as love, man. Okay, because anybody can say, being like the Edomites, I love you, man. And they always say that shit, but love is an action word. Okay, and that action for love, it doesn't exist no more, man. So I'm going to read this again. 2 Timothy 3, verse 1 in the AMP. But understand this. Okay, so you have to understand this because the prophets are telling you these things. So you cannot have no excuse. You cannot say you weren't warned. You cannot say that you didn't hear about the judgments and the prophecies that were going to occur upon the earth, man. Right? No, you can't. That in the last days, we're in the last days now, dangerous times. Why do you think it says walk circumspectly, man? Because the days are evil, man. Okay? People are worn out, man. This place, man, is ripe for the taking, man. Okay, and we sitting back and enjoying the show, man. Come on, man. You are literally seeing Edomites getting pew down on the streets, man, by their own people, by their own government, man. Just understand that, man. We are literally here at the end, man. Again, you are seeing Edomites getting pew down by their own government on the streets, man. We are at the end. That's that St. Mark chapter 3, verse 24 on down, man. A kingdom divided cannot and will not stand because Satan is against himself. Okay, that house is divided, man. So there's going to be some dangerous times, man. Because these go-hard patriots, they look, man, as they say, for my dead cold hands, man. It's about to get nasty out here, man. Okay? Of great stress and trouble will come difficult days that will be hard to bear. And those days are literally at arm's reach, literally at hand, man. We are in those times, man. It's only going to get worse. And this is only the first so-called month of Esau's new year, January. And it's cold outside. So just imagine what's going to be done in the spring and summer, man. We are almost home. I love to see it. I love to see it. I love to see it. And I'm not going to lie, man. I put that video on slow motion. And I enjoyed every minute of it, man. Because now these Edomites are seeing what we went through. Shed no damn tear for you bastards, man. I don't want Ratzazah. I hope and I pray that this is edifying, uplifting, and informative to the true, sincere Aki and Akwaf and fearful. So with that, I'm just going to say, Shalom.